Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon, everybody. Today we're going to have a little fun. This is my Prime Day unboxing. These games here you see in front of you are games that I picked up during Prime Day. Now, not all of them came from Amazon, but a lot of them are still on sale, even a few weeks after Prime Day. So we're just going to do some very quick overview unboxings just to kind of take a look at some of these games. These games have all been out for a period of time, some longer than others, and we're not going to spend a detailed amount of time going through the unboxings because I'm sure there have been much more detailed unboxings out there already. But again, this is just for fun to kind of highlight some things, some good deals I picked up during Prime Day. Okay, so the first game we're going to take a look at is the Taverns of Tiefenthal. This is by North Star Games and the same designer who did Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is a incredibly popular kind of press your luck drafting a potion style game. One that I personally have never played. But this one has, I've always been interested in playing it, but it's, of course, never gone on sale as cheap as Taverns of Tiefenthal has. This game was around $13, I believe, when I picked it up as part of the Prime Day. I believe it is still around $20 or less. I'm happy to put a link in the description below to it on Amazon, but essentially this is a game where you're each trying to build your own successful pub, tavern, bar, whatever you want to call it, depending on your country or region. And it involves this very tight deck building game where you're basically trying to maximize your deck, because as you deal it out, once you have served all your tables, then your bar is kind of closed off to other people and you only get to take the actions that you have dealt thus far. So very interesting style game. It is not a solo game per se, but I have seen a few people throw out their potential solo variants on BGG, so we're going to give them a try. You can see here this this box appears to be dinged up a little bit. It's a very good chance that's why it was so cheap. Amazon or whoever technically sold it through Amazon probably had an abundance of this game. This game probably came on the heels of Quacks of Quedlinburg, and everybody thought it would just fly off the shelves, and it maybe just didn't do as hot. One nice thing about this is that it comes with what they call 4 expansions. It's really just 4 modules. I don't think at any point they were ever sold separately. Maybe there was a original version 1 of the game that did not include them, but supposedly you need the modules to make the game any fun. But what's really interesting is that each of you gets your very own bar, and all of the pieces are modular, and then they can flip over. So as you advance your bar, you just kind of pay to flip it over. You can see all the cards here. You're serving certain guests, so you want to have better guests in your deck, but you also want to be able to bring additional tables out, bring barkeeps out, servers, dishwashers, and I forget what these guys are called, but they're basically like, producing the ale. So again, a very unique concept for a game, and one that I feel like a lot of people could get into. There's also a dice drafting mechanic that at the beginning of each, or in the middle of each round, everybody rolls their dice, places them on these coasters, you draft one, and you pass them around. So that's really the only interactions you have with other people, so that's really all we have to figure out to play this game solo. So let's take a quick look inside and just see. Again, this is not a new game, so I'm not going to spend a terrible amount of time in a very in-depth unboxing here. So you can see this is not a very thick rule book. There's a couple pages on setup. Here's the different modules, and then gameplay. So they're walking you through You know, color-coded steps of gameplay here, very colorful. Lots of pictures. This is a very big rule, you know, big like as in wide, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too bad to get through. And then here we get to the game end. So that was 10 minus the setup pages. So you're looking at really only about 5 pages worth of instructions here. And then frequently asked questions, quick start guide, that's all nice. And the modules. So, or no, here, these are the modules. So this is nice, a whole separate rule book. So you can just get this out if you're playing with the modules and you need a rules refresher on whatever module you're playing. Okay. So there appears to be a decent amount of cardboard in the game. Decent little themed insert in here. I like that too. But you can see here that the bars are pretty much put together for you, but like, you know, this piece pops out right there like that, and so does this piece. So actually all of these pieces do. So, you know, and here you can save up to 2 gold, but if you upgrade your vault, you can save up to 5 gold. Things like that. So that probably has something to do, something important too. So again, I guess we're looking at the upgraded side of a board, and here's the downgraded side. But I just think it's a neat little module here that you can, you know, pop these out and flip them around, and you know, it's this very modular bar setup. So I'm assuming that we have at least 4 of these, 1 for each player. And that's probably most of the cardboard. Nope. Let's see here. All right, so we have this score tracking board, kind of a round tracker mixed with pushing your token around here. You're getting various things as you pass and take your laps. Not really sure what these are, but probably have to do with one of the modules. There appears to be, this board appears to be double-sided, so different things on the different sides, so that's nice. Here are your coasters. I believe this mug probably just has something to do with first player token, round markers, things like that. Little ales. All right, so we got a bunch of dice. Let's check out the dice real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but the insert is nicely themed. It's not just a blank insert. It looks like you're inside a tavern, which I think is just a nice touch. So when we store this game out, we're going to attempt to keep this insert. But these are decent dice. They're wooden with a little, you know, they're painted. So they got some smoothness to them, but they got a good weight. They, you know, sound nice in your hand, but they're not too heavy. Various round trackers, scoring markers, I'm assuming player tokens of various colors, lots of baggies, but we all know how we feel about baggies, and then a whole bunch of cards. This might be my only gripe about the game, is that it's these little mini cards. Now I understand that they're trying to get it to all line up, and if they made the tables and the guests bigger, your player boards would have had to been bigger. So I guess it's all a toss-up, but I would have much rather these have been, you know, full-size cards, because there will be a lot of shuffling, and I just don't find it very easy to shuffle these. But we've already kind of shown off what these cards involved. I will be, like I said, attempting to figure out a way to play this game solo, so we'll be seeing those cards again a little later. Let's just do one super quick check here. Yep, nothing fancy on the, no hidden secrets in here. I feel like I would have heard about that already. So there you go. That is our first game of our Amazon Prime unboxing. That was Taverns of Tiefenthal. All right, up next we are going to take a look at Marvel Villainous. This one actually came from Target, which posted their Prime Day deals about 24 hours before. Prime Day had a similar deal, but this one was, I believe, less than $15 or right around $15. Prime did something similar, wasn't quite as good as Target, but they're still selling this now for 50% off, at least on Amazon, possibly even Target as well. So if you are familiar or enjoy the Disney Villainous, this is the same thing. It's just using the Marvel characters. So for some people, this may be a more promising entry point because you're more into the Marvel than you are the Disney villains. But essentially it plays the same way. So we're definitely going to give this a try solo, just like we have played through several of the other Disney Villainous games solo. They're very quick, very easy to run and manage, and it's just nice that they all play a little differently. Before we get into that, however, I do want to point out that this mat here was also something I picked up on Prime Day for around $5, I think. This thing is selling right now for about $9, and it's technically considered to be a oversized mouse pad. You're supposed to put your keyboard and then have an area for your mouse, but it's essentially a neoprene mat, no matter which way you slice it. It's really got nice grip underneath. It's got stitched edging. It's about 15 by 30, so it's not big enough to set up an entire game on, but for certain games like Marvel Champions or various card games, or maybe smaller footprint games, tiny epic games, or if you wanted to go so far as to purchase 4 of these, or 3 to 5, depending on how many people you usually have over for a game, this is easily a player area size, and you could give each person one of these to be managing their player area on each side. So again, these are going for about $9 right now on Amazon. Last I checked, Prime Day happened to have this additional, I believe it was a $5 off coupon, which made it just a no-brainer deal to pick up at the time. But just something to consider, that if you're just looking for a plain colored neoprene mat like this, check out mouse pads, oversized mouse pads. So anyways, let's continue on with what we came here to see, and that is Marvel Villainous. Now again, this has been out for a while, so we're not going to dig into each of the cards or anything like that, but again, this instruction manual should look very similar. Probably is, let's see, gain power, play card, activate, relocate, vanquish, fate, and just, so the symbols are all the same. This appears to be just basically Disney Villainous with the Marvel twist on it. So it'll be interesting to see if all of the characters each play. Okay, so there's strength tokens that they're adding in here. Those are new. But, I mean, really, you're looking at all the same stuff. Protector, that's a new one. So the villains are Killmonger, Hela, Ultron, Thanos, and Taskmaster. And I mean, this right here is why people are buying these games. The production value of all of these Villainous games are off the charts, especially for $15. And, these minis are just fantastic. They're nice, high quality. They're each unique in their own right. There's Ultron, Hela, Killmonger. Oh no, this must be Taskmaster, because this is Ultron here. And then the king of them all, Thanos, which is a mix between his crown and his gauntlet, which is interesting. So each one is like a unique piece of art. Nice heavy plastic. I forget how all these went in there already, but this is probably how everything went. So there you go. And then you get this, this one feels a little cheaper than what came in Disney Villainous, but that's okay. This is merely just a bowl to hold your tokens, and that is it. It's entirely not necessary, and half the time I don't even bother getting it out. So let's just take a quick look through at some of the villain guides here, just so we can get a better understanding of what each one is attempting to do. Alright, so Ultron here is special setup. Ultron's upgrades. Reveal Age of Ultron. Okay. In order to reveal each upgrade and gain new abilities, you must meet a unique set of requirements. Transformation, Optimization, Ultimate, and Age of Ultron. Okay. Ultron has these 3 upgrades to go through before he can claim the Age of Ultron, all of which are specialty tiles. All 4 of these tiles have upgrade and their costs printed on their backs and begin the game as a stack with the costs facing up. Okay, so there's Ultron. Let's see what Thanos the Mad Titan himself is looking to do. Collect the Infinity Stones. That's pretty straightforward. Place the 6 Infinity Stone tiles with the item side up near the Fate deck. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So I wonder if when they say tiles, these are like nicer, thicker cardboard. Killmonger's objective is to take control of the mines and relocate 2 explosives to any domain other than your own. Okay, so he's got to probably get the mines from his item deck and then plant them. So that seems like a pretty straightforward objective there. Hela here. Hela has a combination of 8 allies and soul marks and no opposing characters at Odin's Vault. Okay. So she seems to be a mix of what's-her-toes, the witch from Sleeping Beauty, who's in the original game, where she was basically putting down those markers, but also gaining allies. Okay. And last but not least, we have a Taskmaster. Have 4 allies, each with 5 or more strength, and each at a different location. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. So those are the different villains. Here are what some of their cards look like. What's nice here is that they finally made them all one. It used to be that the piece ended in the Villainous, the Disney games, and so you know, just slightly everything didn't lay flat. Ooh, and so they have, there we go, they added this whole area for specialty cards or tiles, which is nice. So almost like 5 locations. And like this symbol, I don't recognize this symbol. Let's take a look at Taskmaster here. It's got lots of symbols. Killmonger. I do just like that, you know, the simple fact that they made this a full piece on both sides is a really nice touch. Again, the production value of this game, all of these games, is through the roof. Nowhere and Ultron. Okay, so there's all the tiles. It would appear that everything we have left here. Ooh, there's these specialty fate cards or something. I don't know. Not sure what these are for. These are interesting. We'll have to check these out because these appear to not go along with anybody specifically. Any more of these unique cards? No? Okay, so there's Taskmaster, blue. Hela is green. Ultron. Ultron appears to be... Oh no, these are bigger. Okay, so there's Thanos, Killmonger. Let's just take a look at these. So like I had expected, these are kind of nicer, thicker cardboard instead of just being cards, which again just speaks to the production value here. So these are nice thick cardboard here. Each of the stones placed into the gauntlet. So there's the Infinity Stones. Here are the claws. Bombs. Control the mines. Claw. That was for Killmonger. And here are Ultron's special things. There's Age of Ultron. Costs 12 things to put out there maybe? I don't know. But again, nice touch. I guess we'll have to figure out how to get all this stuff back in the box. But yeah, this back here, this looks like Avenger symbols. Don't match any of the individual people. So that's cool. I wonder how this is going to work. These are all basically the Avengers. Iron Man, Hawkeye. So hopefully this is something that we'll be able to feature on the channel in some form or fashion. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Marvel Villainous. So let's move on to our next game. Next up, we have Back to the Future, Back in Time. This is a cooperative, it says adventure game by Prospero Hall. So Funko Games is really killing it right now as far as games that I picked up on Prime Day. Back to the Future is another one that has been sitting quite low, between $15 and $20, and I kept thinking about it. I love Back to the Future. I love the movie. Everybody has raved about this game. It just was, I always found one that I wanted to pick up before this one, but it went on even cheaper sale, below $15 for Prime Day, and so I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. So like this said, it is cooperative. Obviously, one of the coolest things about it is a little die-cast DeLorean time machine. But essentially here you have your 1985 town set up here, and there's various characters here, which I don't... obviously, Marty and Doc make a lot of sense. Einstein, maybe. Jennifer Parker, though, is not really much in the movie, but I guess they wanted to make it a 4-player game. What I'm not 100% sure of is if it says 2 to 4, obviously it's cooperative and you can just run two-handed. I'm wondering though is if you have to run all 4 characters, because I can see that people have the various things that they need to accomplish, but it may be that each person needs to accomplish the same things. I'm not sure. But from the way it looks is that everybody's running around trying to accomplish all this stuff. I'm sure there's some sort of in-game timer. You can see the picture here can fade away, and obviously Biff is going to be around messing with you at some point or another. So let's see what's inside, and of course take a look at that DeLorean. Ooh, all right. Disconnect capacitor drive before opening. I mean, that right there was just worth opening the box. So that's really cool. This plastic is really easy to open. This is also really cool. The rule book is his dad's Space Tales from Space book, where he dresses up like Darth Vader. I mean, all the little touches on this. That's just such a cool thing. Okay, so this is the board. So you've got the clock tower, town square, Hill Valley High, Doc Brown's house down here, George's house, and Lorraine's house, and Lou's Cafe. You also have a track here where the DeLorean starts way up here. It's going to come all the way down. It's got to make it to Doc Brown's house, and then it's got to get here to its parking space. And obviously we all know this is where it charges off at 88 miles per hour and gets the job done. So it's just such a cool touch. All right. So then we have the rule book, which again, just the little things go so far. All right, so you got character mats, you got player movers, NPCs, George, Lorraine, and Biff, movement cards, opportunity cards, trouble cards, DeLorean parts, turn tracker, love meter, McFly photo sections. Man, there's a lot going on here. All right, setup. We're already at page 5 though, so let's see how complicated is this game. On your turn, action phase, challenge types, influence, love challenge, move DeLorean challenge, fight Biff challenge, trouble challenge, opportunity challenge, and prepare DeLorean challenge. Woo. Rolling dice for challenges, and assisting other players, end of game. So about 9 pages. This looks like it could be more complicated than I thought, which would be cool if it's challenging in its own right. So FAQs on the back, All right, there's that. Here we have the picture that's going to fade away, and somewhere in here are pieces of the picture. That's cool. All right, here is the car, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check it out. Does not appear to be Hot Wheels quality, but it is pre-painted, which is cool. The wheels do not spin. They look like they should, but they don't. That is unfortunate. I was always the car when I played Monopoly because I used to like to come to a halt at my stop, but it's still a decent piece. It's hollow. It's not like die-cast metal. It's plastic, so don't go too crazy about it, but I bet you could find a decent replacement for this, because this is about the size of a Hot Wheels car. Alright, so there's our DeLorean. We have some custom dice here. No idea what those symbols mean. Some custom movers, which are okay. They're basically color-coded so that... okay, there's Doc Brown. So you can tell them apart. 2 tracker cubes. Whole bunch of small cards. Whole bunch of square cards. One thing that you know, Funko has started to do, which I guess is nice, is they pre-punch everything. And I don't know whether this is like a money saver on their part or what the decision behind this is, but it is kind of nice. So there's Biff is dazed. Here we've got DeLorean parts, gasoline, cable, and hook. And here are the parts of the picture. That's weird. Okay. So you can flip them over. Okay. And they slowly disappear. I gotcha. So he could like this, and then he could disappear. Alright. I'm with you. Okay. So we've got all of these cardboard tokens here. I'm not going to open all those up. It did look like you get a clock tower here. The player boards are kind of bent. That's not cool. Storage issue there. So see that? That's not cool, but we can probably flatten those out pretty easily. But there's a Marty McFly. This is heavy. Great Scott. Great Scott. I can't really do a good Doc Brown impression. Jennifer Parker. Follow Me. I don't understand that. Or Bark Bark for Einstein. Okay, so there's the player boards. And let's check out this 3-dimensional. Okay, here's the November 12th, 1955. November 12th, 1950. Okay, 3 players and 2 or 4 players. Interesting. Turn tracker. And then this looks like, in some way, shape, or form, this can be turned into a... well, I don't know. Somehow this turns into a 3-dimensional clock tower. I'm wondering, I think this might be a dice tower. Is this how you roll the dice? That'd be cool. Yeah, clock dice tower, 2 parts, assembly required. Neat. Okay. Alright, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We will certainly be playing this one because I know it can be played solo. So keep an eye out for a gameplay video of this in the future. And last but not least, we have one small expansion for Flashpoint. Okay, so here is the final thing I picked up on Prime Day that we're going to be taking a look at today. And this is the Honor and Duty expansion pack for Flashpoint Fire Rescue. And I really like what they have done here, because essentially they're not attempting to change the rules too much. They're adding a few additional rules, maybe a token here or there, but essentially the core mechanics of the game are changing. But what they're doing is giving you a whole new map or board, and it's double-sided, so 2 technically, in this really concise flat pack expansion. It comes like the size of a book, basically. So this one I actually also got from Target, and this one was about $8, I think, on Target's version of Prime Day. So just wanted to show off how nice and neat their setup here. So essentially this appears to just be the cover, but it is the instructions to give you what's different about the board here. So you have the subway station and the airfield. I don't honestly know why it's called Honor and Duty, but more fire tokens, like we need more fire tokens. Bubbles, suds, okay, and more bubbles and suds. Alright, and then that's it. Basically some additional tokens. I don't know why we needed more fire tokens, but this is really what you're buying here, is the new board. It's a little smushed, but that's okay. So this is the subway station here. We can see here are the subway cars. There's probably some, certain terrain maybe happening here if you have to jump down in. Here is the entrances to the subway station, the offices. And then on the back side we have the wing of the airplane along with the actual airplane. So again, just Flashpoint is such a nice, light, easy to teach, pretty fast playing cooperative game, and it's just really nice to have variety without having to buy these big box expansions. So what's going to be interesting now is seeing if I can squeeze the base game plus 2 expansions into the main box, because obviously this doesn't come in a box, so it's got to go somewhere. So we'll have to figure that out. But I'm sure we will be playing Flashpoint Fire Rescue again on the future. So if you have a choice as to whether you'd like to see the airplane or the subway station, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will certainly look to those for a suggestion of which map to play on, because I do like this game and I do like getting it out every once in a while. So that has been my brief, just for fun unboxing from my Prime Day haul. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.